Yeah, go down a bit. The second page is where you get all the apps.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here we have all the apps. You already familiar with the classic tales, so you know what it is.
Yep.
And then we have classic songs. Then you have the speech assistant, the listening assistant, the writing assistant. And in your own word is like the app for you to create a summary of what you read. Yeah, all right. So let's start with the classic tale, which is something that you really know already. Okay, click on classic tale.
Yay.
Okay, let's pick one story.
This,
now wait.
This is terrifying.
Yeah, I know. Wait, I know one that will challenge you. Now let's listen to the story, The Emperor New Clothes.
Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales, read by Judy Dench. The Emperor's New Clothes. Many years ago, there lived an emperor who was so enormously fond of fine new clothes that he spent all his money on them. He did not care for his soldiers, nor for going to the theatre, or riding in the woods, except for showing off his new clothes. He had a different suit for every hour of the day, and instead of saying, "He is in his council chamber," as you would with any other king, they said, "The emperor is in his wardrobe." Life was very busy in the city in which he lived, and every day a number of strangers arrived. One day 2 rogues came along, saying they were weavers, and that they knew how to weave the finest cloth you can imagine. Not only, they said, were the colours and designs exceedingly beautiful, but the clothes that were made of their material had the wonderful quality of being invisible to everybody who was not fit for his job or was particularly stupid. They must be splendid clothes, thought the emperor. With those on, I could easily find out which men in my kingdom are unfit for their jobs. I should also be able to tell the wise from the stupid. I must have some of that cloth made for me at once. So he gave the 2 rogues a large sum of money that they might begin work straight away. They set up 2 looms and pretended to be hard at work, but they had nothing at all on the frames. They demanded the finest silks and the most magnificent gold thread, but they put it all in their own pockets and worked at their empty looms late into the night. I should like to know how far they've got with my cloth, thought the emperor. But he felt rather uncomfortable when he remembered that no one who was stupid or unfit for his job could see it. He didn't think for a moment that he had anything to fear for himself, but he preferred to send somebody else first, to see how they were getting on. Everybody in the city knew about the remarkable quality the cloth had, and they were all anxious to see how incompetent or stupid their neighbours were. I will send my honest old minister to the weavers, thought the emperor. He can judge how the cloth looks. He is intelligent, and no one is more suited to his job than he is. So the faithful old minister went out into the hall, where the 2 rogues sat pretending to work on their empty looms. Goodness me, he thought. I can't see anything. But he was careful not to say so out loud. Both the rogues politely invited him to come nearer and asked him whether he didn't think the pattern and the colours were beautiful. They pointed to the empty looms, but the poor old minister stared and couldn't see anything, because there was nothing there. Good heavens, he thought. Am I really stupid? I never thought I was. But if I am, no one must know. Am I really unfit for my job? I certainly won't tell anybody that I can't see the cloth. Well, what do you think of it? Said one of the weavers. Oh, it's beautiful, most magnificent, replied the old minister, and looked through his spectacles. What a fine pattern and what colours! Yes, I shall tell the emperor that I like it very much indeed. We're very pleased, said the weavers, and they described the colours and explained the unusual patterns. The old minister listened carefully, so that he could repeat it all when he returned to the emperor, which is just what he did. The rogues now demanded more money and more silk and gold thread, which they said they needed for weaving. But they put it all in their own pockets, and continued to weave away at the empty looms as before. Soon afterwards, the emperor sent another clever official to see how the weaving was getting on, and whether the cloth was nearly ready. The same thing happened to him that had happened to the minister. He looked and looked, but as there was nothing on the empty looms, he couldn't see anything.
No.
Isn't that a beautiful piece of stuff? Said the rogues, as they showed him the cloth and explained the beauty of the pattern, which wasn't there. I'm not stupid, thought the official, so I suppose I must be unfit for my job. I can't believe it. But I mustn't let anybody else notice. So he praised the cloth, which he couldn't see, and said how pleased he was with the beautiful colours and the charming pattern. It is really magnificent, he said to the
You're
emperor.
gonna have no clothes.
Everybody in the city was talking about the beautiful cloth, and now the emperor wanted to see it himself, while it was still on the loom. With a large group of chosen courtiers, including the 2 old statesmen who had been there before, the emperor went to the 2 cunning rogues, who were weaving away as fast as they could, but without fibre or thread. "Isn't it magnificent?" asked the 2 officials. "Doesn't your majesty recognize how beautiful the patterns are? What glorious colours!" And they pointed to the empty looms, because they thought that the others could all see the cloth. "What's this?" thought the emperor. "I can't see anything. This is terrible. Am I stupid? Am I not fit to be emperor?
Oh,
That would
it's
be
just
the worst
that
thing that could happen to me." "Yes, it is very beautiful," he said at last. "It has my highest approval." He nodded, as if he were quite satisfied, and gazed at the empty looms. He didn't dare say that he couldn't see anything. All the courtiers looked and looked, but like the others, they were unable to see anything. So they said, just like the emperor, "Yes, it is very beautiful." And they advised him to have some clothes made of this magnificent cloth, so that he could wear it for the first time at the great procession that was about to
get no
take
clothes,
place.
by the way.
"It's magnificent, delightful, excellent," they said to each other. And they all seemed to be so pleased with it that the emperor gave the rogues a medal each to wear in their buttonhole, and the title of Imperial Court Weavers. The 2 rogues worked through the whole night before the day of the procession, and had over 16 candles alight, so that everyone should see how busy they were, making the emperor's new clothes. They pretended to take the cloth off the looms, they made cuts in the air with their scissors, and sewed away with their needles without thread, and at last they said, "Look, now the clothes are ready." The emperor, followed by his most distinguished courtiers, came in person, and the rogues lifted their arms up in the air, as if they were holding something, and said, "See, here are the trousers, here's the jacket, here's the cloak," and so on. They are as light as a cobweb. You might think you had nothing on, but that is the great beauty of this delicate cloth. "Yes," said all the courtiers, but they couldn't see anything, because there was nothing there. "Will your Imperial Majesty be pleased to undress?" said the rogues. "Then we shall dress your Majesty in the new clothes here in front of the
We
mirror."
don't have any clothes because
The emperor took off all his clothes, and the rogues pretended to dress
rude parts.
one piece at a time.
Yeah,
"Oh,
we don't see anything.
good they look. Oh, what a perfect fit," said everyone.
Oh, yes,
"What a
clear
pattern, what
clothes."
colours, what magnificent clothes."
Amazing.
"The canopy, which is to be carried over your Majesty during the procession, is ready outside," announced the Master of Ceremonies. "Well, I am ready," said the emperor. "Doesn't it fit me well?" he asked, turning around in front of the mirror, pretending to admire his fine suit. The chamberlains, whose job was to carry the train, fumbled with their hands on the floor, as if they were picking it up. Then they raised their hands up in the air, but dared not let anybody notice that they couldn't see anything. And so the emperor walked in procession beneath the magnificent canopy, and all the people in the street and at the window said, "Oh, how beautiful the emperor's new clothes are! What a splendid train! How well everything fits!" No one would admit that they couldn't see anything, because that would have meant that they were either unfit for their job or they were very stupid.
We're very stupid.
None of the emperor's clothes had ever been so much admired before. "But he has nothing on at all," said a little child. And the child's father said, "Listen to the voice of the innocent." And what the child had said was whispered from one person to another. "But he has nothing on at all," shouted all the people eventually. And the emperor shivered, because it seemed to him that they were right. But he thought to himself, "I must go through with the procession." And he walked with even greater dignity than before. And the chamberlains followed, carrying the train, which did not exist at all.
Wow.
All right, now, What I want you to do is to hover the pointer over the book icon. The book icon there. Now I want you to go to the end and you will see a number of questions. There. So I want you to look at the question and think what the answer might be.
Is it bad if I forget everything I just read?
You won't forget. Just read it.
Oh, okay.
So, what did the emperor spend all his money on?
New clothes.
Yes. Number 2.
Okay. What was the unique qualities? Invisible to the foolish and incompetent.
Yes, that's right. See? You remember, see? Number 3.
A.
No, it's not A. Why did the emperor prefer to send others to check on the weavers instead of going himself? It's not A.
I think it's B.
B?
Yeah.
Now, you got it wrong again.
Nah.
Because he worried that people think he's stupid.
Oh.
He can't see it. See? So he worried.
I thought this was before he did.
Yeah. But the emperor preferred to send others to check on the weaver first because he is sick. He was worried about being perceived as unfit for his role as emperor. You know, people think he's stupid. You see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So you got that one wrong there. So you didn't really pick that bit up. Okay, now look at next question. What does the emperor's desire for new clothes symbolize? Now this is symbolism. This is hard. Be careful.
I think political power, because if you get new clothes, you look fancy, you look powerful.
No,
Well, if
I think
that's not
no.
right, it's probably A.
Listen, I think the correct answer is A.
Yeah.
Vanity
You
and
want to
pride.
look beautiful and you're gonna have pride in it. because you want
Yeah,
that power.
vanity. Yeah, that's what I think. But we'll check on that. Okay, later. Okay, number 5. How does the reaction of the town people to the emperor's clothes reflect societal behavior? Okay.
Well, it makes everyone honest because they all thought they were stupid and couldn't see it.
Okay. So how does the reaction of town people to the emperor clothes reflect the behavior? It shows that everyone is honest and perceive reality correctly. It reveals a fear of being judged based on appearances and social status. It indicates a preference for silence over expressing the truth. It emphasizes the importance of fashion in society. Okay, now which one you reckon is the answer?
I reckon it's A.
No. It's not
Oh.
about being honest. You see, everybody didn't see anything. But
Yeah.
they keep on saying, oh, how beautiful it is, and all this and that. And because they know that the rogues, they advertise that only the intelligent people can see the clothes. Anyone else, the stupid, you see? And the one unfit for the job can't see it. And so, the answer is not A. It's not about people being honest and things like that. No, it got nothing to do with that. Now read the question again.
I thought it was like at the end.
So yeah. But how does the reaction of the town people, which is right at the end, when they were watching the emperor and the whole show, and they couldn't see any clothes, so they saw the emperor naked. You see what I mean? But nobody there to say anything. Everybody keep on saying, oh, you know, how beautiful, how wonderful, and all this and that.
Because they thought they would be stupid.
That's right. So which one is the answer?
So, see?
No, the answer is B. It reveals a fear of being judged. See? It refers to the fear of being judged by other people around you. You know, they worry that if they say something and then the people around them will say, oh, you are stupid, you can't see. You know, stuff like that. Anyway, so that show the issues that you face. These are hard questions. Okay, now question number 6, I think, is the final question.
Yeah.
So, in what way does the story illustrate the theme of truth versus illusion?
Well, truth versus illusion, demonstrating how clothing determines status, I guess.
So you think the answer is D?
Uh,
How by demonstrating how clothing determines status. Okay, now in what way does the story illustrate the theme of truth versus illusion? Now this is a hard question again. By showing that appearances can be deceiving. It doesn't look like A. B, by highlighting the foolishness of children. No, nothing to do with that. By focusing on the wealth of the emperor, nothing to do with that. Yeah, I think you are correct. The answer should be D. Okay, now go to the end and you will see the answers and see what happened. Now you will highlight the hidden text to see it. Oh, it's difficult, so tricky. Now, it says 6, the A is the answer for 6 by showing that appearances can be deceiving. Oh, that's a hard one. Now, 5B, number 5B, reveal the fear. Yes, that's it, right? Now, 4A, vanity and pride. Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Now, wait, there is another question. Yeah, scroll down. Okay, now question 3 is C. So B, C. Now get back to the top, and so we can check. So number 1 supposed to be B, find new clothes. That's correct. Number 2 is B, invisible. That's correct. And the 3 is C. Yes, it's correct too. See. So I told you he was anxious. He worried that people would think that he's stupid.
Okay.
All right. So this is the classic tales. Now, some of the classic tales are so wonderful and hard to understand. That's why I use the AI to generate, all these questions, and it helps you, to sort of look through and sort of learn about them. And also, one of the wonderful things about these classic tales is that they show you how good stories are written, and that will help you to improve your creative writing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, now let's close this and get out of this.
Okay.
Close the tab.
Bye-bye.